Throughout football history, football players have repeatedly shown the world noble deeds, and those who think that in our time there are almost no decent players are deeply mistaken. Although footballers have a life of constant struggle with their opponents, they often do things worthy of respect to the opponent or fan. It is for such moments we love this game so much. And today, our channel Footkick Productions specially for you collected such moments in football. This video will be the most emotional, and even not the most impressionable viewers. These actions of football players can cause tears. I wish each of you a pleasant viewing. The goal from the sky, that's how the English journalist described the goal of Doncaster striker Billy Sharp 2 days before the match against Middlesbrough. Billy suffered the worst loss in his life because his infant son died. Despite such terrible news, the striker found the strength and appeared on the field. Both teams honored the memory of the baby with a minute of silence before the meeting. And at the very beginning of the match, Billy Sharp scored an amazingly beautiful goal. Breaking into the penalty area of the opponent, Billy shot on goal and opened the scoring. Barely holding back tears, Sharp ran up to the stands and then took off his shirt, under which he wore another one that said, "This is for you, son." And the referee didn't even think to give him a yellow card, though Doncaster had lost the match by 3-1, but Billy was named best player of the match.
But I think that I'm finally feeling good.
In December 2018, Liverpool fan Mike Kearney gained real popularity. During a Champions League match against Napoli, cameras caught a joyful Kearney celebrating Mohamed Salah's goal. The unusual thing about the story is that the fan can hardly see anything, but nevertheless, for 9 years, Mike has been going to Liverpool's home games, and most importantly, he enjoys the incredible atmosphere at Anfield. Kearney makes up for his problem with his eyesight thanks to his cousin, who explains everything that happens on the field by ear. And after learning about this story, Liverpool invited both fans on a tour of the club's training base. Then, Mike talked to Jurgen Klopp. Well, after that, he met his idol Mohamed Salah. The Egyptian for 5 minutes talked to the fan and said that his support is a real inspiration for him. And at the end of the dialogue, Salah gave Kearney and his brother a t-shirt with his personal signature. But that's not all. The fan then managed to talk to all the Liverpool players, and each of them signed Mike's t-shirt. In the winter of 2018, Manchester City midfielder David Silva had to go through a very difficult time because his son was born 3 months prematurely and his life was in danger. And of course, the footballer could not play for Manchester City and went to his wife in Valencia, where doctors were fighting for the life of the child. At this moment, Pep Guardiola's team was facing an important match against Tottenham Hotspur, and before the game, the specialist made a very strong speech, during which he urged his players to do everything possible to win. Just listen to what Guardiola said.
Today you have to win for one reason. We have to win for David Silva and his girlfriend, Jessica. He's suffering the life. When you go out there and you enjoy for him. And we don't go out there and we suffer for him. And remember the situation. Today I want the win for David Silva and his girlfriend and his family. Is that clear? Yeah.
In the end, Manchester City players took the field with the proper attitude and destroyed the opponent with a score of 4-1. And Kevin De Bruyne, after his goal, showed on camera the number 21. That was the number David played under in Manchester City. And to a great fortune in time, all came to an end, and the child was saved. And the Spaniard spent a lot of matches for Manchester City. Now I want to tell you a small but touching story about a young Sunderland fan, Bradley Lowery. At 18 months old, the child was diagnosed with a terrible disease called neuroblastoma, a type of cancer that arises from immature nerve cells called neuroblasts. In 2013, thanks to an operation in New York, the disease receded. But in 2016, it turned out that it was only a characteristic spontaneous remission for neuroblastoma. In December of the same year, doctors told the parents that this time there was no chance to save their child, and all that remained was to provide moral support to the child. Bradley's only joy in life was football. He was more worried about English club Sunderland. The club heard about this touching story and invited him to the match against Chelsea. Bradley was introduced to all the Sunderland players and had a chance to communicate with Chelsea players. At the training before the game, the kid played with all the players, thus he realized his cherished dream. Also, he scored a penalty goal to Chelsea goalkeeper, and this goal was awarded as the best goal of the month in England. But one of Bradley's favorite players was Jermaine Defoe. Brad always accompanied Defoe when he entered the field, and in recent matches the scene looks heartbreaking. Jermaine Defoe carried the weakened boy in his arms. the young fan became a real talisman for the club. In May 2017, Bradley was diagnosed with another disease, and in early July, the child passed away, and his mother wrote the following words: "My brave boy went to an angel in his mom and dad's arms. He was our little superhero and fought for all he was worth but found himself needed more elsewhere. Words cannot describe the sadness in our hearts. Thank you all for your support and kind words. Sleep tight, little boy, and fly high with the angels." The boy who earned the love of millions of fans and took part in various football events died in the arms of his parents. And at the press conference, then already transferred to Bournemouth, Jermaine Defoe could not hold back tears.
I don't wanna fight anymore. Just turn around and leave me. The tear in my eye drops on the floor alongside my speech.
Before the game between Argentina and Chile, Angel Di Maria found out the sad news. A few hours before the match, his grandmother died. The match was held in the US, and Angel could leave the team and fly home. But Di Maria decided to stay with the team and play against a serious rival. As a result, the Benfica midfielder scored a goal and gave an effective pass. His actions on the field brought Argentina a 2-1 victory. And after the first goal, Angel showed a t-shirt with the words, "Grandma, I will miss you." Neither the coach nor partners knew what was the reason for such a celebration, because he did not tell anyone about it. After the match, Angel couldn't hold back his tears and said, "I didn't tell anyone about my grandmother's death, because it would have led to a loss of concentration. My thoughts were elsewhere. Why did I decide to come out to the game? My grandmother was proud that I was defending the colors of my country. My mother advised me to stay in the national team because Grandma wanted me to honor her memory by my success on the field." After the final whistle, the head referee of the match, Ovidio Haddigan, could not contain his emotions. The captain of the Dutch team, Virgil van Dijk, came up to the referee and asked what had happened. It turned out that the day before Haddigan's mother died, Virgil immediately hugged the judge and tried to calm him down. And after the match, Van Dijk said, "He told me that his mother had recently died, and that's why he cried. I tried to calm him down and told him that he was doing a good job. I understand that it was a small thing for him, but I hope that I helped him in some way." Another touching episode happened to Athletic Bilbao defender Yeri Alvarez. In 2016, at the age of 22, the player was diagnosed with testicular cancer and had to undergo surgery. The player underwent a full course of chemotherapy, because of which he had to cut his hair bald. Because, in any case, during the therapy, hair loss occurs. Unfortunately, in July 2017, Alvarez had a relapse of cancer. And again, the player had to undergo a restorative course. Once the defender came to the athletic base to talk to club staff, as well as with his teammates. Entering the locker room, Yeri saw something that he did not expect. Because all the teammates had their hair cut almost bald, the player was clearly surprised and could hardly hold back tears. By these actions, his partners decided to support Alvarez, and fortunately, in September 2017, the player returned to training. And in February, he completely defeated this terrible disease. Meet Marshall Jansen, the red-haired boy. When Marshall was just 1 year old, due to meningitis, both his legs and parts of his arms were amputated. However, the child and his parents did not give up. The boy lived in a small town in London and spent most of his time watching football with his father. Marshall was a huge fan of London's Tottenham and dreamed of at least once getting to the stadium. The club management learned about this story from Facebook and decided to make him a gift. On May 8, 2016, the boy's dream came true. During the match break, the 8-year-old boy, wearing special prosthetics, stepped onto the football field of the 36,000-seat stadium to play with his favorite team. The fans stood applauding this strong little boy. He was also interviewed amidst applause, and then he played with the Tottenham players. Every move Marshall made on the field was commented on live by the announcer. On the field, the child felt like a real hero, and a smile never left his face. This boy conquered the whole of Britain, and Tottenham, having arranged the best day of his life, did not stop there. He was often invited to football matches, and once even stepped onto the field with Tottenham star Harry Kane. The London club covered the expenses for buying new prosthetics, as they need to be replaced every year until the age of 18. To great joy, after 8 years, everything is fine with the boy. He is almost 16 years old, he is passionate about martial arts, and last April he was in the ring and met Tyson Fury. Despite his problems, Marshall lives a normal, happy life and sets an example for many people. In the confrontation between Newcastle and Tottenham Hotspur, the main heroes of the match were the guests' defenders, Reguilón and Eric Dier. At the 40th minute of the match, the Spaniard unexpectedly approached the referee and began pointing towards the stands. It turned out that one of the fans got sick right during the match. Eric Dier immediately informed the medical staff that assistance was needed. Upon seeing what was happening, the doctor rushed to the fan, and it became clear that the person was having a heart attack. The referee stopped the game and took the players to the area under the stands. For 20 minutes, the doctors fought for the fan's life, and fortunately, they managed to save him. On the same day, he was hospitalized under medical observation. The Newcastle audience greeted the Tottenham players with applause, and after the match, Sergio told journalists the following words: "I saw that one of the fans was lying down, and another was giving him artificial respiration. I got very nervous and told the referee that the game needed to be stopped, and the fans were also shouting to stop the match." Another touching episode involving a young Japanese fan occurred in 2015. A 12-year-old boy sat opposite Cristiano Ronaldo and began reading a question written on paper. He asked it in Ronaldo's native language, Portuguese, albeit with poor pronunciation that elicited laughter from the audience. However, Ronaldo remained unperturbed. As everyone continued laughing, Ronaldo said,
Boa tarde.
Boa tarde.
Meu nome é Jota.
Jota. What's your name? Your name?
Jota.
Ah, Jota.
O meu sonho é ser jogador de futebol.
Okay.
すごい通
I
じました
understand.
E ter o prazer de dia jogador junto com você.
Okay.
あー通じたすごい
Para mim alcançar esse objetivo, o que devo fazer?
Why they smile? Why?
なんかもう通じてます
You speak good Portuguese.
すごく上手にポルトガル語すごい上手です。
They should be happy because you try very hard. It's good.
すごいです。
Once Mesut Ozil showed by his own example how to handle bread, during a match between Arsenal and Atletico Madrid, someone from the fans threw a piece of bread on the field. Mesut did not take offense at the stupid fan, then picked up the bread and put it to his forehead and kissed it, then put it aside. For Muslims, bread is sacred and must not be thrown away. This explains Ozil's behavior during the match. Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo are bitter rivals, but the Argentine and the Portuguese have repeatedly shown respect for each other. In the 45th minute of the match between Real Madrid and Barcelona, the guests earned a free kick. Messi came to the ball as always. Lionel tried to circle the wall, but with a rather powerful kick hit Ronaldo on the head. Then Messi came to Cristiano and apologized to him. Also in this match, in one of the episodes, Ronaldo helped Messi get off the field, letting all the fans understand that he respects the Argentine. And before the meeting between Barcelona and Juventus, Ronaldo and Messi showed respect again. Cristiano and Lionel came to each other and hugged each other. Carles Puyol is the man who is respected by fans of any club because his actions really prove that it is impossible to treat him negatively. In one of the matches, Thiago and Dani Alves, after the scored goal, started to dance. Carles didn't like it and ran up to the players and called his partners to respect the opponent. But perhaps the case that occurred in the match between Milan and Barcelona fully describes the nobility of Puyol. In August 2010 in the Gamper Cup, the Camp Nou met Ronaldinho, who had already moved to Milan. Barcelona won that match on penalties and won the trophy. As soon as Carles raised the trophy above his head, he looked in Ronaldinho's direction and called the Brazilian and then gave the cup to Ronaldinho. The embarrassed striker posed with the trophy and then did a team photo with his former teammates. At this point, our video has come to its conclusion. I'm sure that after this video, you looked at the football players in a different way. Well, if you have watched to this point, then you probably liked our channel. If so, then subscribe to and click on the bell. By this action, you will help to promote the channel and you will receive notifications the very first. Well, this is where I say goodbye to you. Most importantly, love football. Take care of yourself and your loved ones.